California bankruptcies brings everyone down. Silver drops. Let's start. This is an article by Clarissa Hawes. It says, Shuttered California Trucking Company files for bankruptcy. Now, this is a really powerful piece because it shows how these bankruptcies that we're seeing happening often, how when they come down, it impacts not just the company, not just the people who the entrepreneurs who created this company, the people that are involved in this company. The article states, a California-based dryage company, which shuttered operations in November after its operating authority was involuntarily revoked, recently filed for bankruptcy liquidation. Central California Cartage Company, headquartered in Goshen, filed its petition in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court. The article goes on, it states, at the time of its closing, the company had 25 power units and 32 drivers. It's like listing everything that the company has. Here's the part that really shows us the impact. It says, the company listed its assets as up to $50,000 and its liabilities as between $1 million and $10 million, according to the petition seeking for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It had 49 creditors, and that no funds will be available for unsecured creditors once it pays administration fees. Now, as this article goes on, I'm just going to highlight the important parts. It says the company's top creditors with non-priority unsecured claims include Ryder Transportation Services of Chicago, which is owed more than $2.5 million. Here's another, Extra Lease of St. Louis, which is owed more than $805,000. And Valley Pacific Petroleum Services of French Camp, California, which is owed around $320,000. So when these companies go down, which we're seeing often, and I can't really fully say that these bankruptcies are any more prevalent than they were 10 years ago, but it seems like we're seeing and we're hearing about it more often. The first thing that I always think of when I see and hear about a company becoming bankrupt is part of me feels that on a positive note, we need bankruptcies. Like, we need companies to have the ability to go bankrupt. It sounds strange, but without that ability for a company to go bankrupt, all of this debt would be on the entrepreneurs, would be on the people that start these companies. And I think that's something that we like to leave by the wayside, but it's really important. Like, it's so shocking to hear about these companies going bankrupt, and as I just listed, the other companies that are involved in the web that they owe money to, right? That is really impacting a lot of people. But we need this ability to go bankrupt. If we cannot go bankrupt, then everything is placed on the entrepreneur. So if I start a company and I take out loans like every entrepreneur does, well, these days I would not be taking out from a regional bank, because as we know, those regional banks are struggling with all of their commercial real estate loans. They're about to pop and explode. But if I was able to take out loans, I would take those loans out. I'd start my business. I'd try to grow. That's what's necessary to compete. And if it fails, if the company fails, I need to be able to wipe that slate clean and not have me as a entrepreneur, as a person. It cannot all come down on me. And I think that it's so easy to point the finger at either the people running these companies or other circumstances, but that is necessary for us to have. And as it all shakes down, and we see, especially lately, it seems in mainstream media also, we're hearing a lot about these bankruptcies. That certainly does trickle down to everyone else, as we see in this article. Like the debt that's owed, that's not being paid, and these companies and everybody involved in that web, they're waiting to be paid. That certainly trickles down. Now, here's the part that's really upside down in our economy, and here's the part where the silver that I'm showing you in this 5 ounce, this 5 ounce bar, right? I got a 10 ounce here too. This is the part that's really upside down. This is an article by Dean McCracker, and it says that it's worth highlighting some key facts about the economy. This is titled "Bad Dreams." It says it's worth highlighting some key facts about the economy. It says that first, the unemployment rate is 3.7%. It has been under 4% for 24 consecutive months, a streak that has not been matched in more than half a century. And that's something that these numbers that we hear about with unemployment, they're often tossed around. But this is showing really an opposite of what I've seen. The article states, because of the strong labor market, tens of millions of workers have left bad jobs to take better ones. And that has been clear lately, as we see that with inflation, wages have also risen with inflation, which gives us as everyday, regular people that go to work every day, workers, right? It gives us stronger wages. And again, that's something that's often lost. And so this article really makes me feel like a lot of what I've been seeing in mainstream media is really upside down. That's the best way I can explain it, upside down. Again, it says, because of the strong labor market, tens of millions of workers have left jobs to take better ones. And that is simply because our bargaining power is stronger. And the article says it's a great story. Workplace satisfaction is at a record high. The article continues, the strong job market has also meant rising real wages. Absolutely. For all the complaints about high prices, wages have risen more rapidly and are now higher when adjusted for inflation than before the pandemic. That simply I don't hear anywhere. So I see, information like this makes me feel definitely more positive about the numbers that are being put out there. And let me continue. It says, even better, the most rapid pay increases have been for those at the bottom end of the wage distribution spectrum. Much of the rise in inequality of the past 4 decades has been reversed, and wage differential has fallen to its lowest level on record. So as inflation is certainly persistent, absolutely. It's this article makes me feel like what we're seeing in mainstream media is certainly upside down, because we're not hearing this part of it, and maybe it's because mainstream media tends to kind of wipe away the life of regular day people. Maybe something along those lines. Let's go. Here's this last part. It says, meanwhile, inflation is roughly back to its pre-pandemic rate. While most prices will not return to where they were before the pandemic, the prices of many items like rents and used cars are falling. Those big ticket items, rents and used cars. Now, I'll tell you what it's not falling, and that is mortgage rates have been really pushed even higher, almost at 7% lately. And the real upside down part of these numbers, when we look at an article like this, is that silver really should be responding to this rising inflation, right? If real wages are up, as this article tells us, if wages have gone up along with inflation, then according to the theory of stacking silver, this metal that we devote so much money and time on, silver should be going up. But it has not gone up. And this article that I just noted was looking at numbers for the past 24 months. Well, for the past 24 months, this silver that I'm holding in my hand, the past 24 months, this has been stagnant, and it has not gone up. So that makes me look at this whole idea and the theory of precious metals following inflation as really being, again, quite upside down. I mean, something does not seem to be going the way it should be. Now, it could be, the possibility to answer this could be what we hear in our community of silver stacking here on YouTube, and that is that there are players on top in the Silver Institute, this mysterious body that I couldn't tell you who it's part of the Silver Institute or what exactly really they do, but apparently they influence, or they have some kind of control over the amount of silver that's out there, and that could certainly be influencing the price, right? I mean, I really don't know. I really can't put a finger on exactly what it is, but by looking at this data from this article and knowing that real wages are up, inflation is up, and it's been up, and they have been up, silver should certainly be following along, but it has not been following along in the way